Welcome to Metro Vancouver Close-Up, your look at what municipalities and citizens are doing to build a livable region. Some groups interested in reducing greenhouse gases met at a session hosted recently by the City of North Vancouver. They discussed ways to adapt to climate change, and these ideas are helping empower civic leaders to take action. These North Vancouver residents have come to City Hall on a rainy October night to discuss the impacts of climate change on their community's watershed. Ben Cross from the city's Engineering, Parks and Environment Department tells them what they can expect in the coming decades.
So we're going to see more water in total. It's also going to come more all at once.
Following the presentations, participants split into small groups, brainstorming ways the city can address the impacts of climate change.
Does anyone want to throw out some examples of what you might think might go in each of these circles?
I'm hoping that people will leave the workshop feeling a little more positive and inspired that they can do things in their own home, that there are changes that individuals can make and that communities can make. As well, the City of North Vancouver is hoping to become more informed about the ideas that citizens have for changes in their own neighborhoods so that the community and the city can work together to adapt.
I think that giving individuals a voice and allowing them to participate and see some of the process is an essential part to building active and true participation. And as you can see from who's here, it's a wide spectrum. It's not just one segment of the community. There's a number of different backgrounds and experiences that are here.
It brings out a real positive participant. We got people that want to come in and be involved in the city. Public hearings and workshops are much different. Public hearings are very formal, very official, very rigid. The more positive workshop sessions where we work with Evergreen and other societies is much more collaborative. It's easier to speak with people and to voice your concerns in a non-confrontational way.
We don't know exactly what's going to change or what new technologies are going to happen.
If you can put information in the context of an individual's home or neighborhood or city, it's often a little easier to digest than big sweeping statements about what climate change will look like.
A transit network's reach ends about half a kilometer from a station or stop, because that's how far people will generally walk. But cycling facilities can extend the transit system's reach, and it helps build a healthy region. That's what's happening at the Main Street SkyTrain station in Vancouver.
We have set a target for this region to try to ensure that by 2045, 50% of all trips are by walking, cycling, or public transportation.
Translink's Bob Padden stated that ambitious idea at a recent conference, where North Vancouver's improvements to bicycle infrastructure were featured, including presentations by the mayors of both the city and the district. Padden pointed out that while cycling represents a small portion of Translink's budget, it has the potential for a big payback.
The benefits are quite significant. There's health benefits, there's air quality, greenhouse gas reductions. So we think it's a very worthwhile investment and an important part of the overall transportation strategy for the future.
Conference organizers believe there's growing support for a better bicycle network around the region.
When I started on this work 24 years ago, there was not a lot of people cycling around. We kind of had to find our way around the city. There wasn't the bike routes on the residential streets. In the last 4 or 5 years, I've noticed the boom of people cycling with their young children. So I think that's a good step forward.
Translink's latest bike-friendly initiative is a new state-of-the-art bicycle lockup at the Main Street SkyTrain station. It provides secure storage for 86 bicycles, 4 times more than previously available, and it's just $1 a day to a maximum of $8 a month.
It's those kind of amenities that you put in place make it a lot easier for someone to think about making the bike a part of their trip.
It's starting to come along, and we're seeing the pockets of success, and now the goal is to expand those around the region and in communities so people can go from anywhere to anywhere using a bicycle.
Welcome back to Metro Vancouver Close-Up, the showcase for municipalities taking the lead in sustainability. Metro Vancouver's natural features include wind, waves, rocks, and ocean tides. They contribute to ecosystem health and economic prosperity, but they can also be rough on altered shorelines. West Vancouver District and residents are responding by giving nature a helping hand. It may look calm, but changes are underway on West Vancouver's shoreline as part of their first ever shoreline protection plan, which outlines ways to engineer nature, such as adding boulders like these.
Having a natural buffer is the best protection from storm events and sea level rise, as opposed to riprap and rock and concrete.
In recent decades, urbanization has hardened the shoreline in a way that impacted many stream connections and intertidal habitats. Many citizens noticed.
The Shoreline Protection Plan was originally drafted with a volunteer engineering advisory committee and formed the foundation for the ongoing plan, which continues today.
We had citizens really push us to say, we need to do better. And that strategic long-term plan and action plan was put into play.
One focus of the plan relates to climate change and possible storm surges.
When waves and storms come in, or as the sea may rise over the next 100, 200 years, we're slowly working with nature to bring some rocks in and reefing in, and that will help catch the sediment.
Retaining sediment also helps with another goal of the plan, to create natural habitat for fish and wildlife.
To bring the sediments down from the mountaintops, deliver them to the beach, and have them build a strong, wide buffer that's good for fish habitat, bird habitat, people habitat, and infrastructure protection all at the same time is the best of all worlds.
The plan has already guided work at several locations, with more sites identified. Residents are invited to contribute funds.
The real challenge here is to keep these initiatives going for the long term, because the shoreline needs a continuous effort.
Waste, water, air quality, and housing are among the services Metro Vancouver delivers to member municipalities. Recently, the region's new and returning councillors and mayors were invited to a briefing hosted by Metro Vancouver. It helped them understand how all the municipalities work together. In December, all Greater Vancouver elected officials, old and new, were invited to a Council of Councils session to get a detailed overview of Metro Vancouver and its regional roles and operations.
For those that are new, it's kind of a Metro 101, going through all of our different functions that we do. And those of you that are coming back, we want to bring you up to date on some of the major projects that we're doing as well.
My key message was to emphasize to all of the member municipalities that we as Metro Vancouver staff are there as their staff.
Over the next 5 years, we'll be working on over 90 water infrastructure projects, including transmission mains, pump stations, and reservoirs.
I thought the session today was incredibly informative for someone like myself that's just trying to get their feet on the ground and figure out the lay of the land, shall we say.
There's a whole series of projects related to transfer stations.
Discussion ranged from the nuts and bolts of facilities maintenance and management to the importance of Metro Vancouver's collective governance structure.
We are a function that is a foundation and linchpin for the way the region operates, because this level of cooperation that we've established builds all of the other utilities and functions that we cooperate in. And I encourage all of you to continue to talk about the way we should grow and to ensure that your municipalities are leading.
It's been amazing today. I've really enjoyed it. I learned a lot, and I suspect that they're going to be sorry that they left their phone numbers on the brochure, because I will be sending my follow-up questions, because there's just so much that I want to know.
It's not an us-them relationship. It really is a united organization where we're all partners in delivering services on behalf of the entire region.
Get more stories at metrovancouvervideos.org. Our thanks go to the municipalities, community groups, and individuals who shared their input. I'm Dagmar Timmer. See you soon.